Increased demand for online shopping has spurred huge growth for wholesale retailer Boxed over the last 12 months. And now the startup has its eyes set on Asia as it expands its international footprint. Let's bring in the CEO and co-founder of Boxed. Chieh Huang joins us today. It has been an incredible run for you, especially during this pandemic, as we've seen with so many online retailers. Just give me a sense of the type of growth that you have seen and how the demands have shifted along with this pandemic.
Yeah, we've definitely seen incredible growth in two main spikes. So one earlier at the onset of the pandemic back in April of last year, and then once again in November as the COVID numbers started to get bad again. But what folks were stocking up on has definitely changed from early on toilet paper, paper towels, to definitely disinfectant wipes as well as disinfectant sprays these days. But we see massive growth and it's been pretty wild just trying to hold on.
And Chieh, I loved your shot before. We had you on in the pandemic a few months ago with that background, and your expansion here into Japan is kind of key to the software as a service kind of type model that you have behind you, and really help leveraging retailers out there to use the technology to get these goods rather than just in-store brick and mortar purchases, but to get it to them using e-commerce. So talk to me about how that's become a major piece of the business that retailers might want to tap into.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to be on here speaking to you guys and saying that we not only sell software, but we also sell toilet paper. We're probably one of the few companies on the face of the planet that can say that. But the result is that there is demand for both. So all the technology we built, a lot of the technology that you see behind me, and 100% of the technology in our newest fulfillment centers, even down to the robotics, are built by us. And so what you're finding is that COVID has caused extreme demand for e-commerce all around the world. And folks, if you're playing in e-commerce, if you're playing in retail, it's no longer a luxury to be really good at e-commerce. And all that technology has become very valuable for folks. And so we're partnering with the Aeon Group as our first client, which is the largest brick and mortar retail chain throughout Asia.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, while Aeon is a Japanese company, of course, you've seen significant opportunities throughout Asia, particularly in Southeast Asia, too. What does the landscape look like there for you, and how significant is the opportunity? What kind of growth are you looking at?
Yeah, there's going to be huge growth there, Akiko. When you look at countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, 250 million people there, with a generation that's really skipping brick and mortar and jumping straight into mobile and online, I could expect some pretty big growth there for us. And so, when you look at kind of the CAGR there, it's been pretty strong double digits for several years now, and we're happy to take part of that.
Yeah, I mean, help us understand maybe what this means, because obviously rolling this out in Malaysia, I assume, would be very different than rolling it out here in the U.S. because the competitive landscape might just look different. But how does that maybe still translate over to what you could do here in the U.S., or is it something that's already been addressed so you might not see that same type of growth?
No, so Zach, that's the beauty of it, is that it is a shared platform in the sense that all the learnings that we have here, battling with everyone selling toilet paper, that goes all to the software. And then anything we learn in Malaysia, as well as the rest of the world with our other clients, that's going to be fed back here in the U.S. as well. So really sharing a platform with the world's leading retailers, I think is going to make some really good technology. And instead of just being a purveyor of software and solutions, we'll actually be an entrant in that arena. And hopefully we'll build better technology, more poignant technology, more apropos technology as a result.
Yeah, it is certainly a very competitive landscape when you look at a market like Southeast Asia, when you've got companies like a Tokopedia or a Gojek who've sort of become these super apps that are not just about online, but also not just about e-commerce, but multiple services beyond that. What kind of opportunities do you see in terms of partnerships on that front? Because it sounds like you're looking at a very different business model from what has transpired here in the U.S.
Absolutely. So our international strategy is all via software. And so taking that software and having kind of one thing that does travel across borders pretty easily, and that is technology and software, will be key to our strategy there. And then partnering with folks on the ground that know how to get goods around, that know how to interact with customers, that know what they want to buy. I think that's going to make for a really powerful combination. So we bring what we think we do best, and they bring what they've known for now decades for some of these retailers to come together and really go after that market together. But the names that you mentioned, Akiko, they're huge. They are very prevalent. And I'm excited actually to be able to partner with them in the future.
Yeah, Chieh, I just got one last question for you, too, because we've been talking about IPO plans for a while, and it seems to me a very interesting shift because we referred to you as the Costco for millennials for so long here. But now that you're kind of shifting in this direction, I wonder if all of a sudden you become kind of, a logistics warehouse, kind of an Amazon backend for retailers. How should we be looking at Box now after this announcement, and kind of what does that do to maybe increase your valuation as you look at an IPO?
Yeah, I've been skirting around the question for years now about our future. I thought I was going to get off the segment without being able to address it, but it does look like this will definitely, I hope, boost kind of how the market sees us, and that we are a technology company, and hopefully we'll command technology multiples. Eventually, if it becomes a public debut, certainly I hope the market sees us that way. How you kind of see us is that the online warehouse club, the Costco for millennials, doesn't need to be what Costco or what the warehouse club was for non-millennials, in a sense that, you don't need a membership to shop, and that's one big difference. But instead of selling membership, we also sell software to be able to boost our revenue as well as our profits. So maybe a different model for a different generation.
All right, Chieh Huang, the CEO and co-founder of Box. Appreciate you coming on once again. I don't know if that counts as skirting the question again, but next time we have you on, hopefully we'll hear some IPO updates. Thanks again, our buddy Chieh Huang. Be well.